wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Thank you, Coach. Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming 10-71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Go! 180! 51. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Move. 15. Check 15. I got it.
They'll run on first down. Meadows. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. Move.
Now Trubisky. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Let's go, defense. And here we go. Check. Alert.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. That's good for 28 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Trey Flowers there on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, 43 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? Go 58's the mic. If you don't get this one, you think you won't get this? You think you won't get this? Check. Check.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Wide, get wide.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the running game.
And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Jackson. He may try and run for this. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Stop! 180! Alert! 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 Hey, alert 3! Alert 3! Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
On 2nd and 15 now. Trubisky going down the middle, and it's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
He's crashing. Red, up. Check safety, check safety. Hey, alert. Me.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a dump off here complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bears 7, Lions nothing.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Switch. Motion.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Check 4.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Hey, 18. Banjo.
On first down, Meadows. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Stay with your man. Watch the shift. Lock in. Watch the shift. Hey. You got to get moving, man. Man, move it. You got to get done.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Check, 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 check. 97's the mic. 97's the mic.
Now Jackson. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the toss, here's Johnson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
I'm here all day. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, that's good.
To throw is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Trubisky will throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. Finds his target, Montgomery. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
41. 180. Check 41. Hey, let's get there. Move. Slam.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 49-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Shoot. Alert.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do? Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. Touchdown, Detroit. Colby Listenby in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions have taken the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Yo, Switch.
Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Gray. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the Lions first down.
Here we go. Set. Touchdown.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Check it out.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch out.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. To throw is Jackson on 3rd down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Jones on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Lock in.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Trubisky to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st down, Trubisky. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
I'm coming after you. Check.
Throwing here, Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Again, it's Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. The kick by Joseph is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
7 yards there and a first down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Hey, you got 3 out, 3 out. 97, 3. Let's go, B, let's go. Check 37. 97's the mic, 97's the mic. I got one.
From the gun, Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Jones. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
41 Mike. 41 Mike.
Trubisky to throw. That's complete right side to Gabriel. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
25, check 25, check 25.
Now it's Trubisky. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing now is Trubisky toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves them out there with another chance.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down one. It's tempting to go for two. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing now is Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets...
He's got a man complete past the 20. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Lions, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next.